Hello and welcome to another Companial Talkie. My name is Michael Hartmann from Companial, and today I have with me William van Voorthuijsen. William is one of our partner technology strategists, and we want to talk today about one topic that is a very compelling topic for not only Dynamics partners, I would say for all IT companies, but you might even say for any company or for any professional on this planet, which is this whole topic around artificial intelligence and now ChatGPT, which made headline for the last 3 months. And now we have seen on the Dynamics side with the Dynamics Copilot that Microsoft is packaging artificial intelligence and the ChatGPT platform into Dynamics. And so my first question, when you look at that, you wonder, William, will that become a disruptive technology?
Yeah, and that's a great question to start with, and I would like to quote Jared Spatero, which is the CVP for business applications at Microsoft, who said, "Okay, 100 years from now, we are going to look back and say, eh, that was the beginning of a truly new digital era." If we look to ourselves in the last 3 years, we have seen a lot of change. How we worked, the proliferation of data, apps, time spent in meetings, we all turned into clerks, I would say. And AI is possibly going to free up us from a lot of those tasks. It's your real time collaborator that helps you answering questions, complete tasks, and do your day to day work more efficiently. It could really help us to get things done more quickly.
Yeah.
With AI, you can run your operations more efficiently. So I would say quite some impact.
Yeah, and I think if you look at business application, Business Central for that matter, it was always meant to be more than just accounting software or resource planning. Intelligent planning was one of the key themes. So in that sense, is now, in your view, ChatGPT and artificial intelligence change the way we should look at business application, and can they transform businesses?
I would say it brings the power of what I meant in the introduction to the users of those business apps. It would really help them to create things faster. And of course, we always talk about creativity, but let's focus on to complete time consuming tasks. For example, dream about creating a project in your ERP system or whatever just by using natural language, for example. And really outsource the easy outsourceable stuff, things a computer can do for you quite easily. And maybe it's 80% of what you would have done, but it gives you a head start. So it can really deliver you insight and the next best actions to you as a user just by describing what you need. So really, you're not going to be the only user of those business applications. You always have a co-pilot next to you, and that's really going to transform things.
Yeah, and I think interesting, William, now that you mentioned Copilot, there was this sort of big announcement. What is your advice to our companion partners? How should they think about Copilot at this point in time?
Yeah, good question. Because basically a few months ago we had the buzz around JetGPT, and more recently we had Copilot. And it's good to know that Copilot is not exactly the same as JetGPT. And to make it even more difficult, there are multiple versions of Copilot. But I want to explain it like this. Let's focus on Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is the Copilot for your Microsoft 365 apps, just as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, etc. So basically, the Copilot consists out of three elements: your Microsoft 365 apps, Microsoft Graph, which is basically all your data and your metadata, and you have a large language model, which is, for example, in this case, JetGPT. So Copilot is more than JetGPT. And to give you an example, you are able to ask a question to JetGPT and you get a question back. But with Copilot, it's way more powerful. For example, let's imagine you have a extensive Word file, 40 pages, which is a quote for a new customer. And for the next meeting, you want to have a professional slide deck of 10 slides with the highlights of that proposal of 40 pages. Basically, you can then ask Copilot, please create a nice PowerPoint with the best, the highlights of that 40-page document, and create a beautiful PowerPoint for.
Yeah, but I think this is a great example of almost a scenario that everyone can use and take advantage of. But in your view, are there, let's say, target groups or groups of customers or partners that are probably more attracted with technologies such as ChatGPT as others?
For example, I use the example of Microsoft 365, and of course we have Dynamics 365 Copilot, and then of course within that suite we have Business Central. And for just Business Central, it's a little bit limited, the functionality as it is today. And to be honest, I see the immediate impact would basically come from Microsoft 365 Copilot, because that's a way larger market for Microsoft. They are serving way more companies and customers with that. And specifically Copilot for the Power Platform, because Power Platform is all about creating apps, be creative, create Power Automate flows, and for example. So I expect that partners and end customers using those applications from the Microsoft stack will see the immediate impact more quickly than just BC partners, I would say, if you're only focusing to BC. But of course, it needs to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But if we are going to dream about, okay, what would be possibly come to Business Central in the near future, think about that you're able to create customizations, extensions for Business Central just by natural language. And that will end up in AL code, presented to you in Visual Studio Code, and the developers only need to fine tune it, and then your customization is already ready to publish.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I think that's, as you said, probably dream come true for many of us. Now, as we're running a bit out of time, William, any last thoughts to this, quite complex theme of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT for our partners?
Yeah, basically, try to embrace it. Be prepared. It's all very premature, I would say, but please try to follow up, because things will change quite fast in the upcoming months. And start, for example, I mentioned that example to another partner when I met them in person. Start with an internal lunch session with your colleagues, with a brainstorm, a blank canvas, with the question, how are we going to make use of AI? Think about AI scenarios for our customers in our specific verticals. What could we dream of? And try to build something. Yeah, become familiar with the possibilities of it.
Great. Well then, thanks. I think that's a good practical advice for many partners to probably take on. And so with that, thanks, William, for your insight and consideration. I hope you found that useful. And then I wish you a great rest of the day wherever you are. Thanks so much.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.